Hello, I'm Kate Driver, naturopath and women's health coach. Thank you so much for joining my video series, Your Mysterious Hormones. It's great that you've joined because you are taking responsibility for your health and you're not putting up with your symptoms anymore. And this is really important because so many women I see are just experiencing too many symptoms and accepting it, because most other people have similar symptoms, but that does not mean that it's normal. Normal is actually flowing through your life and feeling amazing. And it doesn't really matter what stage you're at, but at any stage of your life, you should feel really good. And our hormones change and fluctuate. And today I'm helping women like you over 40, but you should always feel great, no matter what age you are. And there's a transformational stage over the age of 40, isn't there? And up until menopause, it can be a really confusing time. And it can be that your symptoms are there and then they're not there. They're different to your friend or your other people that you speak to, but it doesn't mean that it's normal that you have these symptoms all the time. And yes, there's changeable hormones, and it can be one of those stages of your life that things are changing and winding down. So your ovaries stop producing the eggs and our hormones start winding down. And yeah, sure, that's fine and that's normal, but then it doesn't mean that you need to get symptoms. The symptoms are telling your body that there is something out of balance and a bit wrong. So what I really want to influence women to do, and to be really aware of, that way before you go through menopause even, that you should take responsibility for your health and your hormones, particularly your adrenal and thyroid health, so you can fly through perimenopause and menopause with ease. And that's what it's all about. You don't get there and then just say, oh my God, I've got all these terrible symptoms, please somebody help me suppress them. And probably, as you know, most commonly women tend to get told to put on HRT or hormone replacement therapy. But this has not very nice side effects. As you probably know, there's been a lot of research on it. And very short term, it may be okay, but long term, it's not. It's very detrimental to your health. So it's a good idea to do things naturally. And actually, your health is about prevention as well. Instead of waiting until you get something like a certain disease, or you knew that something ran through the family, or you know that you're going to go through menopause, then say, hey, okay, 5 years before I think I'm going to go through menopause, let's get my health really good. And this is what it's all about. So why do I know all of this? Because I'm a naturopath and I've been consulting for over 18 years. And in clinic, I've seen thousands of women with hormonal issues and lots of different symptoms. And I've helped thousands of women to transform their hormones and make them feel amazing again. And I can help you too. And I have also experienced some of these myself before I was a naturopath. I've had lots of different symptoms, and I've been suffering from thyroid issues in the past, a lot of digestive and gut issues and allergies, adrenal exhaustion, bordering on chronic fatigue. And so before I was a naturopath, I had experienced all these symptoms. And since I've been a naturopath, I had a very stressful, horrible personal stage in my life where some of these hormones started to creep back a bit and affect my hormones. And straight away, as a naturopath, as you probably would have guessed, I know what to do. And it can get me back on track really, really quickly. And that is just what I'm so grateful for, and what I really am passionate to help you with as well. Because like within a few months, you can actually transform your hormones and your life and feel great again. So please don't suffer. And this is why I want to get this out to as many women in the world as possible, that you don't need to be a victim of your hormones. So today, as I said, I'm talking about your gut and digestive health and how it influences your hormones. Your digestive system is so important. As you know, that old saying, you are what you eat. Because everything we eat gets digested, and when we digest it, the nutrients and the minerals get absorbed into our cells of our body, and the cells of our body influences our organs and our health. Obviously, that is just goes without saying. It's a scientific fact. And if we don't eat really healthily and eat well, then it's going to affect every single thing in your body, including your hormones. And now, I'm not saying to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. But you want to be as healthy as you can possibly be, as much of the time as you can. And if you have a day here and there that you just indulge and you have your chocolate or your wine, I mean, look, some of these things are actually really good for your hormones anyway. But as long as you don't, every day or too regularly, just give yourself an excuse and say, oh, I've had a crap day, I'm going to eat this. And it's not very good food at all. If you do this consistently, this will affect your digestive health. All these bad processed foods actually encourage the growth of the bad bacteria in our bowels. So our digestive system has a microbiome, and that is the bacteria that lives in our digestive system. And it's really highly influenced by what you eat. So all the good fibre in your fruit and vegetables and the wheat-free grains is actually influencing the good bacteria in your bowel. And this helps us excrete the bad estrogens and help us metabolize our hormones and help our liver function efficiently, and it helps get rid of all the bad stuff that we don't need to hang on to in our bodies. But if you're eating more processed foods and sugar and chemicals, then this encourages, unfortunately, the bad bacteria in our bowel. So when you've got an imbalance of this good and bad bacteria, then you don't do what I just said. You don't excrete the bad estrogens, and you actually can't keep bugs away. You might be more prone to parasites and candida, and you don't absorb your nutrients as efficiently. It influences your immune system as well. So 80% of your digestive health and the gut bacteria is responsible for 80% of your immune system, and that's a huge amount. But when we look at your microbiome, or the bacteria in your bowel, that influences just about everything in your body. So it's a really important first step for anything to do with your health. And then there's the estrobolome, and that is the bacteria in your bowel that helps us excrete those bad estrogens. And some of these bad estrogens can influence your predisposition to things like, all the reproductive cancers like breast cancer. But it can also mean that you are more prone to estrogen dominance, and you're more prone to things like fibroids or endometriosis. So this is really important for women at any stage of their health. So try and eat really good forms of fibre in your diet every day. So this includes, and the majority should be from your vegetables and your legumes, and minimal fruit, unless you're having the unsweet fruit. So the reason why I say that is because fruit, it's anything with seeds. So if you love fruit and you say I have lots of fruit, well, which sort of fruit are you talking about? We should try and minimize the sweet fruit, because that still is a sugar. So the fructose in sweet fruits like apples, bananas, pears, grapes, those sort of things are still a source of sugar for your body. Now, when we go through our 40s and 50s, you become a little bit more what we call insulin resistance. And I'm sure you've heard that term. It just means we don't break down glucose as efficiently, and our cells don't accept that glucose as efficiently because our insulin isn't as receptive as it used to be when we were younger. So the more glucose or even fructose from fruit we have, the more resistant we can become to us utilizing that glucose from our food, including your fruit, for energy, rather than storing it as fat, which is called the middle-aged spread that nobody wants. And you can avoid that, definitely can avoid it, and this is why I'm here to help you with that as well. So your fibre is really important to help us produce those good bacteria in your bowel, but also excrete the bad estrogens. So make sure you have plenty of fibre at each meal, and that includes, like I said, minimal fruit, lots of vegetables and salads, and perhaps some legumes and some grains that are wheat free. So you're looking at even seeds like quinoa and buckwheat and wheat-free grains like kamut and spelt and rye. And then we're looking at perhaps quite regularly taking a probiotic. And a probiotic is the live good bacteria that's usually in a powder or a capsule form that helps us with our good bacteria in our bowels. And it sometimes comes with a prebiotic, which is the good types of fibre, such as slippery elm and arabinogalactans and apple pectin. And these things can actually encourage the growth of our good bacteria together with the probiotic, which is the live bacteria. So look, forget about those shelf stable probiotics. They don't have live bacteria in them, I'm sorry to say. Go for a really good quality, professional, well, it is professional, preferably the practitioner only, which is more of a high standard, like I said, professional grade of this good probiotics, because they have a lot more than what you pay for, and they actually get to your digestive system and your intestines. Some of this cheaper brands that you see and might be quite competitive with price are very low quality and don't make it to your intestines. So just be aware of that when you buy one. If it's cheap, then it probably is not going to survive. And like I said, diet's really important, and water is really important, and a probiotic is really important. Keeping your digestion really healthy is important. If you have suffered or are suffering anything like irritable bowel syndrome or ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease or celiac disease or anything that's to do with your digestive system, or you're actually not really sure and you've just got symptoms such as bloating, flatulence, wind, reflux, and it's very consistent, then please consult your health practitioner such as a naturopath like myself, because we actually can really help you with that. It's amazing how quickly you can turn that around. It just means that your digestive system is not functioning efficiently. So good luck with all of this. I'm so glad you listened to this video, and I'm happy to help you in the next video. And we're talking there about your liver health and your hormones and how important that is. It's a really important video. So please hang around, because by the end of this will all make sense, and you would have had a huge insight in how to start changing your hormones and your health and feel great again. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time. I know how important your time is to you, and I appreciate it. And I will speak to you very soon. Bye for now.